There was a Baiga boy named Thuriya. His parents had died when he was very young. His uncle had given him shelter in his home. Thuriya helped him with his work and lived with him. His uncle did not particularly like him, but fearing the villagers prevented him from leaving his home. Once Chacha felt like going to his daughter's-in-law's house to meet her. Chacha took Thuriya along with him. On the way, Chacha and Thuriya started towards Chacha's daughter's-in-law's house. Chacha's daughter's-in-law's house. Chacha's daughter's-in-law's house was very far away. The route also passed through the forest. It became afternoon. While walking, Chacha felt hungry. He asked Thuriya to cook food. Thuriya quickly collected dry wood and lit a fire and cooked food. First he fed Chacha and then ate the leftovers himself. After eating, Chacha felt lazy. Let's get some rest and then we will move on, Uncle said. As soon as he lay down, Uncle started snoring. Thuriya also lay down, but he could not sleep. He remembered that when his cousin was still young and unmarried, Uncle used to tell her stories, but Uncle never told Thuriya any. While Thuriya was thinking this, a strange thing happened. It so happened that Uncle had four stories in his mind. Those stories got a whip of Thuriya's thoughts, and he too felt how stingy this old man was, storing us in his mind but never letting us out. All four stories emerged from his mind and landed on his stomach, chattering amongst themselves. I am fed up with this old man. I am suffocating sitting in his mind. You will see. I will kill him and get rid of him. While he is eating at his daughter's-in-law's house, I will become a throw and get into his first bite of food. Once in his stomach, I will kill him, said the first story. I too want to get rid of this old man. We stories are for everyone, but he does not tell us stories anymore and keeps us captive in his mind. You see, if you fail to kill him when he returns from his daughter's-in-law's house, I will turn into a dry branch of a green tree and fall on him and kill him. The second story said angrily, you both are right. This old man deserves to die. He has held us captive. Now the only way to get rid of him is to kill him. If you both fail to kill him, I will turn into a snake and bite him, said the third story. And if you three fail to kill him, I will kill him. When he crosses the river on his way back, I will become a huge wave and drown him. The fourth story said, through greeting teeth, the four stories were discussing their plan to kill their uncle when Thuriya sneezed. Hearing Thuriya's sneeze, all four stories were startled. Did he overhear our conversation? The second story expressed doubt. Yes, if he overheard our conversation, he will tell his uncle and we would not be able to kill him. The third story said, don't be afraid. Whoever tells our stories to someone else will be turned to stone. Therefore, only those who want to turn into Stones should tell our stories to someone else. The first story said proudly, "Wow, that's great. But tell me, can one become human again after turning into stone?" The fourth story asked, "It is possible, but it is very difficult." The first story said, "How?" The remaining three stories asked in unison, "If Thurya tells his uncle about us, he will turn into stone. He will only be human again when his uncle's grandson marks him with a paste of turmeric and rice. But his uncle will never bring his grandson to save him." The first story said with a laugh. After this, all four stories returned to the uncle's mind. After a while, uncle woke up. He took Thurya with him and set off. After walking all evening and into the night, they reached uncle's daughter-in-law's house. Thurya had heard the stories. He was very worried. He thought that if he told his uncle about the stories, he would be turned to stone, and if he did not, he would be killed. While he was brooding, it was time for dinner. The uncle's daughter lovingly cooked a meal for her father and cousin, seating them together and serving them. As soon as the uncle took the first bite, Thurya remembered the first story. He slapped his uncle's hand, causing the bite to fall to the ground. The uncle was furious at Thurya at first, but when he looked closely at the bite, he saw a thorn in it. Seeing the thorn, he realized that Thurya had saved his life. Thurya gave his food to his uncle and ate from his uncle's plate. The next day, his uncle bid farewell to his daughter and her in laws and returned to his village. Thurya accompanied him. They were returning the same way they had come. Then Thurya noticed a thick, completely dry branch on a lush green tree. This surprised him, wondering how the branch could be so dry on such a lush green tree. At that very moment, Thurya remembered the other story. He stepped ahead of his uncle and stood across the tree. As soon as his uncle passed under the tree, Thurya grabbed his uncle's hand and pulled him up with a jerk. The branch fell, but his uncle was saved. When his uncle saw the branch, he thanked Thurya for saving his life. Thurya and his uncle moved forward. They had only gone 10 or 15 steps when a female snake appeared, swaying in front of them. His uncle trembled with fear, but Thurya understood that this was the third female snake, distinguished as a female snake, and had come to bite his uncle. Thurya quickly grabbed the female snake's tail and slammed it against a rock. The female snake fell unconscious. The Thurya threw it aside and, holding his uncle's hand, quickly walked forward. Uncle wondered what a strange thing was happening. His life was in danger 3 times in a single day, and all 3 times Thurya saved his life. Meanwhile, Thurya was thinking that since 3 stories had tried to fulfill their vows, the fourth story would surely fulfill its vow and try to kill his uncle. In this confusion, Thurya and his uncle reached the river near their village. Now they had to cross the river and reach their village. As soon as Uncle tried to step into the river water, a huge wave rose in the river and moved towards Uncle. Uncle became frightened and stood still, but Thuria knew that this was the fourth story. If we cross this, then there will be no danger ahead. He showed speed and pulled Uncle back. The wave started returning after hitting the shore. As soon as the wave started returning, Thuria caught Uncle's hand and ran across the river. After crossing the river, Uncle turned back and looked at the river, and it appeared calm. Uncle was very surprised. Thuria, tell me the truth. What's going on? My life was in a danger 4 times today, and all 4 times. It's as if you know about the danger beforehand and saved me. Don't hide anything from me. Tell me the whole story, his uncle said to Thuria. He was desperate to know the truth. It's true that I knew everything beforehand, but I cannot tell you, Thuria said. Why cannot I tell you? His uncle asked. Because if I tell you the whole story, I will turn to stone. Thuria said, come on, you are making excuses. How could a human being turn into stone? Uncle scolded Thuria. Okay, if you want to know, I will tell you. But when I turn into stone, bring your grandson and have him mark me with a mixture of turmeric and rice. That will turn me into a human again. Thuria said, okay, I will do as you said. Now tell me the whole story. Uncle asked anxiously. Thuria told his uncle everything about how the 4 stories had tried to kill him. As soon as he finished, Thuria turned to stone. The uncle was evil. He was looking for a way to get rid of Thuria. So instead of calling his grandson, he left the stone like Thuria there and went home. Upon reaching home, the uncle told everyone that Thuria had been eaten by a lion in the forest. When this news reached Thuria's cousin, she wept profusely. Thuria loved Thuria very much. Her husband and father-in-law told her that she should go to her parents' home in such a time of grief. Thuria's cousin set off with her husband and son. As they crossed the river near the village, her husband said, where we are going, there will be an atmosphere of mourning and there would not be any food available. So it would be best if we cook food here and feed our son so he does not have to go hungry. The sister was sad, but she agreed with her husband's advice. She felt that her cousin had passed away and keeping her son hungry would not bring him back. Therefore, she should cook food and feed it to her son. Thuria's cousin gathered wood and lit a fire. She washed the rice and mashed it so it would cook quickly. Her little son was playing nearby. While playing, he opened the bundle of supplies, took out turmeric, and mixed it into the rice batter. When the sister saw this, she remained silent, thinking, okay, I will cook rice mixed with turmeric. But the sister's son was naughty and he put both his hands in the turmeric rice mixture. The sister scolded him for this. The sister's son being scolded, started looking here and there. The sister's son's eyes fell on a stone idol. That idol looked like his maternal uncle to him. The sister's son ran to that idol and caught hold of it with both his hands. As soon as the sister's son's hands touched the idol, Thuria turned back into a human being, saying, Uncle, Uncle. The sister's son hugged Thuria, hearing their son's voice. Thuria's cousin and her husband looked at their son and were astonished. Their son was standing, clinging to Thuria. Brother, you are alive, exclaimed the cousin, running to Thuria. What is all this? We heard that a lion ate you, and you were lying here like a stone statue. But as soon as our son touched you, you became human again. What kind of illusion is this? Thuria's cousin's husband asked Thuria. Thuria told her sister and brother-in-law the entry story, learning about what had happened to Thuria and the inhumane act her father had committed. Thuria's cousin was enraged. She took her husband, her son, and Thuria to her father's house. She told the villagers about her father's misdeeds and rebuked him profusely. Thuria's uncle was deeply ashamed by his daughter's rebuke and apologized to Thuria. I will never let you suffer again. Thuria's uncle told Thuria, but now I don't trust your word, so I will take my brother with me. Thuria's cousin told her father, and she took Thuria with her to her village. Thuria lived happily with his cousin and brother in law.